Welcome back to Ask SAR. Today's question is, how do you do enthusiastic consent? We talked in a previous episode about the importance of no, right? No is the basics of consent. We've all heard the phrase, no means no. And that is very true, right? That is very true. Enthusiastic consent, however, is a bit of an upgrade on that concept, right? It's not just no means no. Enthusiastic consent is more about yes means yes. When you have a question, when you have something you're asking for or asking about, you only move forward when you get an unequivocal and enthusiastic yes from the person you're asking. If at any point it's unclear, if at any point there's confusion, or you're not sure, or you just don't know if the person has said yes, you stop, right? You absolutely stop, and you don't move forward until you get that yes. Maybe that means you need to ask again. Maybe that means you need to give the person more time. Whatever it is, right? You wait until you get that yes, yes, I really want to do that. Enthusiastic consent. Included in enthusiastic consent is the concept of capability, right? Is the person capable of giving consent in that moment? If the answer is no, or even if you think the answer might be no, you don't have enthusiastic consent, and therefore you don't move forward. Why are some reasons people might not be capable of giving consent? Well, if somebody's drunk, if they're really tired, if their blood sugar is low, things that affect the body physically can prevent a person's ability to give consent. Now, there are other reasons, some other things to think about. If there's an extreme power differential, right? If somebody has power over me, I may feel I have to say yes. If I feel like I have to say yes, that's not consent, right? That's a demand. That's you have to do this, right? So it's not enthusiastic consent when that happens. The same thing is true of privilege. If someone has greater privilege, right, they have the ability to demand a positive answer to a question. And it is really hard to give enthusiastic consent when somebody has the ability to demand something of you. Also included in this concept is the idea of informed consent. I can't answer you with an enthusiastic yes if I don't know what I'm answering to. Do I know what's going on? Do I know what the question was? Do I have a concept of what is involved in the question you ask me? Right? If I don't, I can't say yes. And if I do say yes, I don't know what I'm saying yes to. So have that negotiation. You check your understanding. Do a check-in and say, did you understand what I was asking? Did you know that I meant I wanted to have sex in this specific way? Do you know which movie I want to go to instead of just asking you if you want to go out to the movies? Check in. Repeat back your understanding. Have that conversation to avoid the awkward moment of, okay, we said yes, but now we're talking about two different things, right? And that awkward moment, which happens in life, stops what's happening. And if you're wanting to engage in an activity like sex or a date or any number of other things, you want to avoid that awkward moment. The way to do that is getting enthusiastic consent that makes sure everybody understands. How do you do enthusiastic consent? You do it all the time, right? Getting consent is hot. Getting consent is great. And getting consent, especially when we're talking about sex or intimate activities, is absolutely necessary. You've been watching Ask SAR. I'm Sar Cermak. Like this episode, share it with absolutely everybody you know. Getting enthusiastic consent into the public debate is amazingly important, and it is something we need to talk a lot more about. If you have any questions about this episode, leave them in the comments below. If there's anything you'd like to hear about in a later episode, leave those in the comments below, or email me, or talk to me directly. And finally, subscribe, right? We do this every week. We have a lot more to talk about and a lot more great questions to answer.